This is Shai Benucci, and lucky you, you're listening to the Nitro Intro Podcast, a show recently described by the Orlando Sentinel as starlight you can set your sundial to. Introverts, you know the Nitro Intro Podcast introduces you to the lives of rare humans. Orlandoans you almost certainly wouldn't meet any other way. It was just 2 episodes ago that we met Henrietta Fracas, a mannequin collector and self-storage unit expert. Last episode, we met tomato juice industry historian Gary Fernandez, when Gary was not extracting particulars. We learned he is assistant manager at the West Sand Lake Road Racetrack. Go check him out. Our most listened to episode thus far this year was hearing from retired University of Central Florida science faculty Robert Muldoon. Professor Muldoon chatted with us in episode 303, and well, if you know, he pulled back the curtain on trends in meatcraft, umami-nalia, savornomics, and this was breathtaking. Professor Muldoon presented to us an astonishing report on an alarming trend: fake meat. That's right. The proven uptick in corporations secretly inserting meat back into their meat alternative products. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the content you've come for at Nitro Intro. Stay tuned after this brief message from our sponsor.
Yard sale! It's the real yard sale at Scott's Furniture. Save 30 to 80% store-wide for one day only. Sofas, love seats, chairs, recliners, bedroom furniture, mattress sets, dining furniture, and accessories.
The real low price.
Yard sale! Saturday only. Scott's Furniture, Route 13, Bridgeville.
Welcome back, introverts. For this episode, I introduce you to Mr. Crandall Oakley. It's interesting. He found me. That's right. Mr. Oakley, who prefers I call him Crandall, is a resident in an East Orlando assisted living community. Weeks back, he found me by email. He's a fan of the show, and he noted we had to meet. Little did I know, he was absolutely correct. Here's our interview from April 2023, only on the Nitro Intro Podcast. Yes, sir. Just by your right arm, you'll find a tall, cool tumbler. Crandall, it's a pleasure to be with you, sir, but I want to focus in on your interest for this conversation.
I'm 123.
Can you repeat that for our audience? What, again, is your age?
I said I'm 123.
Crandall, when you say you were born at the turn of the century, you mean the
20th century. I wanted to let you know, Shai, about my past, because it intersects with your own.
If there's one thing I've done with Nitro Intro, it's make my life an open book. I would never keep anything from my audience.
Well, it's a damn fine podcast. I listened to several, and yours is always the most unpredictable. But in a good way.
Crandall, I want you to know that we're going to have a great visit today, and that's in part depending upon what you want to share. Sir, the mic in front of you is your future maker.
Shy, I am your great-grandfather. It's not Placido Bonucci. I wanted to come clean on this. I can't bear to take this secret to the grave.
Oh my, say more.
I seduced your great-grandmother, Isabella, in 1922. She was married at the time. She already had one baby. Your great-uncle, Leo.
This seems preposterous, but I want you to continue.
I agree, it's easy to prove because your grandfather had an accident at the plant. His testicles were crushed.
Ah.
When Lucrece came along, that was my child.
Yes, of course. Grandpa Luke. Grandpa passed in 1997. My dad, he passed away in 2012.
That's right. All that remains is proprietors of the male Bonucci's. Is me and you. Although technically, I'm not a Bonucci.
This is a lot to absorb all at once. I'm rarely thrown off guard. I'm rarely at a loss for words. But right now, I'm not sure what to say.
Well, I can imagine your shock. 3 generations of non-actual Bonucci, but actually you're carrying Oakley blood. The blood of Crandall Oakley.
I'm starting to feel a little faint. I don't know exactly what I should be thinking right now, other than I don't quite feel like myself. I guess I wish I could speak with my father or my grandfather, but neither are alive. I do have an older sister.
Oh, I wrote her. I wrote Winona, and I told her everything. I never heard back.
Well, you have me on the air during an actual interview, so obviously I'm absorbing.
Well, I thought it would help boost your show. Least I could do, right?
I like how you frame that, yes.
Shy, there's probably something else you would like to know. I should let you in on the full scope of this announcement.
Okay. I'm sitting down, but I'm going to relax myself even more in preparation for whatever you're going to tell me.
Shy, when I was young, I traipsed all around the Midwest. I didn't have the smarts or the skills or the family background to do a whole lot. But there was one thing I was good at doing, and that was meeting women and fulfilling them, and fulfilling myself at the same time. Although I've never made a full account, I suspect you have over 775 brothers and sisters, folk that are related to you because of me.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot to take on.
Is there some records, some index, some notation of these folks?
I do have a 3-ring binder with a lot of articles and a lot of notes that I've made of who I suspect are my children.
Well, I must say, seeing that list has suddenly become the most important thing in the world to me.
I've received some amount of criticism for all of my deeds. But the truth is, having children is the one thing we know we're supposed to do.
You, never settled down yourself with your own wife and children.
I thought I was ready about age 72. But then, old habits die hard. I just enjoyed my life.
We're gonna take a break here on the Nitro Intro podcast. Can't help but want to find that book. I'm sure it's here in Crandall Oakley's residence somewhere. Any final thoughts, Mr. Oakley? Any longevity tips or tricks?
Oh, I'd say the number one thing is to follow your heart. And once you can fake that in an insurance industry job, or maybe banking, find as much love in every corner of life as possible. And turn that love into something valuable for yourself, like monthly payments.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Crandall Oakley, age 123. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Nitro Intro. Hey, this is Geoffrey Little. You're listening to the Attentionist podcast. That was a story created and recorded by yours truly. The Nitro Intro podcast. That's right, the title of the short production is not the actual podcast you're listening to, but another podcast. I know it's meta. Thank you so much for checking this out. There's more where this came from at theattentionist.com website. You can also subscribe, and please do, on all major streaming platforms for podcasts, whether it's Spotify, iTunes / Apple, Luminary, Google. Did you know that Audible, you can get books on Audible, yes, but you can also subscribe to this podcast on Audible. It's all there. If this show is the kind of thing that you'd like to go even deeper on and learn more about, consider joining my Patreon. For just $3 a month, you support this production, and then you also get extras. In the last 2 weeks, I left a couple of audio journals. I made a couple of audio journals, just letting folks know, hey, I'm going to attempt to run the Nashville Half Marathon and be the host of a spring open house. I let you know how that went. You can also
Whether or not you're a Patreon person, you're welcome to contact me at any time. Send me an email, lilwhq@gmail.com. I'd love to hear any feedback on this episode, the Nitro Intro podcast. Hey, thanks again for your interest and your time. This is Jeff signing off. I look forward to next time.